Hey everyone, this is Jason Pannone, Head of Reference and Cultural Assets Manager here at the East Hartford Public Library. I'm coming to you today not from my office, but from the rare books room of the library on the second floor. I want to show you two things that we have in our collection that are kind of neat, interesting commentaries on the history of the town. So the first thing that I have is the seating chart from the Congregational Church, from First Congregational, which is right across the street from the library. This is a chart that was done up in 1893, and what it shows is the seating plan for the church as it existed in the year 1800. Now you might think, well, what's the big deal? I mean, the seating chart is 220 some years old. Who cares? But what's interesting about it is it's a great commentary on social class and wealth in East Hartford at the turn of the 19th century. In the church at this time, you rented your pews or you rented your boxes. So the closer you sat to the front, and this is where the minister would be, the wealthier you were and of higher social status you were. In contrast, if you sat in the galleries, you were of a lower social class, probably poorer. So it's an interesting to see, who was who in East Hartford. And you'll see lots of familiar names like Forbes, Olmsted, Burnham's, prominent names from the founding families of the town, Pitkins. And so it's kind of neat to come and take a look at it and get a sense of who was who in East Hartford back in that time. The second thing I want to show you is the town report from the year 1842. Here it is. It's this side of the page and this side of the page. And if you think today about the town reports, they're often very thick, 2 to 3 inches thick, hundreds of pages with lots of graphs and statistics and charts and stuff like that show just how complex running a town in 21st century America is. In contrast, you see how short it was, and that East Hartford was really just a small farming town in the middle of the 19th century, and the biggest expense that they occurred was when the selectmen and the town's representatives had to go across the river to the general courts and to the General Assembly. And there's a request in this town report that they be reimbursed for their troubles, because really at that point the only way to get across the river was by boat or by crossing the toll bridge, meaning they had to pay going over and coming back. And I see on here that they had to pay $263.30 to do this over the course of their year, which that's a hefty sum back then. And now it's probably several $1,000s what that represents. And that would have been a big chunk of their income. So they're asking to be reimbursed. And there's various other things in here. It's a really neat peek into history and to what East Hartford was like in the middle of the 19th century. And like I said, if you happen to be in the library, especially when we reopen, come up to the rare books room, and if it's open, take a peek in and take a look at it. You're free to do so. There's no requirements, and you can always ask at the reference desk if you have any questions. So I hope you enjoy that little peek into East Hartford's history, and I'll keep finding some more interesting stuff for you to share with you. So as always, practice safe social distancing, wash your hands, and be well, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.